Hello, everybody. Welcome to the State of the Market for December 2025. Al?
Even though we're in a totally different year, feels wrong, but
a whole new quarter century.
Wow,
Gosh.
blast off.
Yeah. So we have a few things going on before we actually start the State of the Market. And the first is to do the drawing for this
what a
beauty.
card. What a card.
This beauty. And
I have to put a bounty out on this one.
Yeah, so we ended up getting donations of $490, so appreciate it, guys. And so pretty cool that, photo of us two dumbasses was able to promote a little bit of fundraising. So appreciate that. So anyway, I guess we don't have to build this up anymore. Let's do the
you have the random thing going?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So we got the people's names. Yeah, here we
go. So just so you guys see on the right, there's it's weighted based on your donation. So so now you see your spots are all based on the weighting. So all right, let me find the page so I can hit the button. Al, just tell me when to click.
Click. Here we go. Good luck to everybody. Good luck to everybody. Good luck to everybody.
Oh, it's fixed. It's fixed. Well, congratulations, Seb. You are the winner. And thanks for the donations. Thanks to everybody for the donations. And Seb, I'll get your address, which I'm pretty sure I have. So anyway, appreciate it again, guys. This is now you can maybe make a Instagram short for this, Seb, so you can share it with the world. But yeah, appreciate everybody participating in that. That's pretty cool. And maybe we'll do something again next year. For something a little more valuable. But
don't shortchange us, Bill.
Yeah. Well, if it ends up becoming worth something, I'm gonna really question this world. But by losing the wheel, I somehow feel I won. Or somehow I feel I won. So I can't blame you.
I can't blame you either, Eddie.
What were you going to do with that in your collection?
At least it was going to be, it could be a doorstop, I mean, at the very least,
Yeah.
Your apartment's probably too nice in New York for that, but
yeah,
you saved yourself the pain and suffering of dealing with the kaboom gold of Bill and I.
It'd be like Ed would just chuck it into the recycle, and then we'd have people searching for it, like that guy did with his Bitcoin, where he lost his flash drive and he was digging through all the
trash,
the dumps to try to find it. Never found it. It was like hundreds of millions of dollars worth.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
No,
holy cow.
I cannot.
Yeah, me neither.
But yeah, I'm happy for Sub too. He was pretty excited. He actually sent me the first or no, I don't think he was the first. Tom was. But anyway, he's like, I'm winning this thing. So I don't know if he didn't know which site I was using or anything, just so I'm very clear. I didn't know which site I was using until about an hour and a half ago. All right. Well, so on to soccer cards that actually matter. Anything new in the world or anything? Any thoughts about the market at the moment, or you want to just jump into what we got?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any material changes in high level, thoughts. I mean, we'll get to some of these auctions with some crazy, one of one Prism cards that were available on the Panini site. Those kind of shocked me, a number of those results. That was probably kind of the biggest December specific thing that I noticed. I don't know, you anything big? I mean, personally, I'm still waiting for the Charlton to get graded at PSA, which I'm super excited about. So hopefully that comes in positively over the next couple days.
When did you get that in? Was it
I got
before
it
the
in
new
late
year?
last year, but the holidays and it's super express, so it should typically would have been done, but I think the holidays, the backlog, everything like that. Last time I checked, it was in QA.
Okay.
I don't think I've checked in a while. So I mean,
I
in a
just sent a
while,
couple.
meaning a day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're not gonna wait too long to look it up.
yeah.
I just sent in a couple cards to PSA. One was to get crossed over from a SGC. I sent it from Michigan on Wednesday or Monday evening, and they had already checked it in by yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Like not just received, but it was checked in and everything. So I mean, I felt like that
What
was pretty
service
fast.
level?
I paid $44 level or whatever. I don't know what that
Right.
is. Value plus maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So mine got there. They logged them. So I sent it a little bit earlier, December 31st. So it got there December 31st, and it was prepped January 2nd, and it's in QA checks now. And the estimate they have is the 13th, which I guess is
next
over
week.
the weekend. Yeah, next Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, that's not bad. The first time I've done a reholder with PSA, also, and that was really painless.
Yeah, you just type in the number,
Yep.
and you're there.
Yep. Type in the number, explain
And
why
your
it needs to
minimum
get
grade.
reholdered, and then they check it and say, "Hey, okay, here's a label," and ship it back. So yeah,
I also like the thing that they rolled out a few months ago, which was the 19.99 FedEx shipping. Did you take advantage of that?
I did. Yep.
Yeah. So I think and here's a little advice to people. If you're going to send in multiple orders, you only need one of those labels, and then there's a place where you can consolidate the shipping to include multiple orders on that bar scan on the outside you're supposed to put on the box. So you could have 4 orders and pay $19.99 shipping on the way there. Now, of course, if there are 4 orders of different service levels, they'll come back at different times. So you'll have to pay 4 return shippings, and the return shippings are typically more expensive because they have insurance, whereas the go-to shipping doesn't have insurance. But
Okay. I didn't know that.
But at the very least, it's something to be aware of. If you can consolidate your outbound, you can save some freight money.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good to know. All right, let's hop into this bad boy. Oh, one other thing. We just got the notes in the Discord about the 210 Fanatics Vintage Soccer, where they have the payouts where they pay 110% over for cards that sell for over 200 from like 2000. I think it's 2002 and back or something like that. And this is the last one they're doing the 110% promotion. They're still going to do the every 10 to be of like have the vintage soccer button to push and all that. But this is the last time I guess they're going to be doing the bonus for selling. So they'll just give you the regular bonus that they
and I think that the regular 110% bonus typically kicks in at what, $2,000? Was that right?
I think it's more than that. I think it might be 5, but you can get like 106 pretty easily, I think. But I mean, honestly, I could be completely wrong. But that's at least what my brain told me.
Yeah. Okay. I'll double check that as we go.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's I don't know. I'll double check it, and we'll see how things go.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get this party started with the Golden Elite auction that just ended last week. And yeah, this is what you're talking about, the 101s. Yes. And this is, these weren't impacts. These were ones that were sold through the site that were auctioned off in 2014. And people were able to buy them direct through Panini.
Yeah.
And so there were a bunch of these came up for sale. So I imagine it was the same buyer for a ton of these. I think somebody shared a link with what they sold for back in 2014, but I didn't click it. So I'm interested to click on that after the show to see what these sold for.
Yeah, I did click on it, and it was very, very interesting. Some of the multipliers were crazy. I mean, most of them were, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you would expect based on where we are here versus back then. But I think the one that sold for the most back then was a Cristiano Ronaldo Pepe dual signature, which is funny, right?
Yeah.
And I think the Messi sold for like less than $2,000.
Oh my God.
So
and then like James was a big seller. I saw somebody mention. So it's just kind of funny to see, like, if you're prospecting, this is a potential issue. So like, yeah, it's just interesting to kind of see. But I have to imagine these 101s are going to be one of the top items for the 2014. Even if they weren't impacts, I have to imagine long term these are going to be something that people are interested in.
Yeah.
Long term. Yeah.
So yep, absolutely.
All right, let's do some scrolling, see what we can find. Here's a PSA 10 Mundachromo for 56,000. Solid price.
Yeah.
Neymar, the 101 for 47. So I mean, still a solid price for Neymar, who doesn't seem to be, having the draw he once did.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny when those sold, and I'll just tell you, I'll have a few spoilers for you as we go. And originally that sold for 1,500.
Okay.
The base, and the Neymar and the Messi sold for exactly the same amount. Back in 2014.
It makes sense, right?
That was the vibe, right?
Because those are the three guys. Like you couldn't really, there wasn't a ton of separation between the three of those guys at that time.
And the autograph version of Neymar sold for $10,000 at the time, and the Messi sold for $9,000. Or 9,000. So the Neymar sold at a premium, the auto version. Now you can make a narrative. Brazil, he was younger, closer to his rookie, right? There's a lot of reasons to explain that at the time. But wow, right?
Do you know what that Pele went for?
The regular Pele,
or was it the auto? The auto.
Oh, it was. Oh yeah, sorry, it was the auto. Shoot, the only Pele. I see that Pele Cristiano Ronaldo duo auto, which is pretty damn cool, went for $5,000.
Oh,
and
wow.
The Pele autograph, this card itself went for $2,000.
Okay.
Now it went for 50x.
That's a pretty good return.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on to it for a little over a decade and then just
50x
hammer it. Yeah.
Nice. Like it. Yeah.
All right. And this is the one you're talking about, the Pepe.
Yeah. So that one, that person paid $20,000 for that and only got a 2x.
Probably a Portugal fan, I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
Like,
seems I know like that Portuguese speaker because, Pele, Neymar, Cristiano Ronaldo, and then this dual auto.
Yeah.
Yeah, those flawless cards have done well. This original Ronaldo. These are from the upper deck. Those have been doing great, even though the autographs suck on all of them, but it's still an epic card.
I remember buying boxes of that when I owned my card shop, because when Upper Deck sent things for that, I'm like, oh shit, like I gotta order some of these, and I ended up opening one box for myself and got like a Ole Gunnar game used and a Nicky Butt game used. I'm like,
you're like, damn it.
yeah. But yeah, didn't get any of the biggies, but it was still cool to open up just to see soccer cards made back then.
Yeah, yeah, and like cool stuff like autographs and
yeah,
stuff like that. And so I mean, like again, here we don't need to go into every detail, but Modern's doing really well. Post playing career Pele there, 22,000. There's a lot of those cards out there.
yeah.
The Topps gold chrome Messi went for like 20 grand. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Again, these are what I'd consider pretty massive numbers.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just you had a R9, a Holland here doing 16 grand. Even this James did 15. And the autograph originally sold for 7 when all the hype on the prospecting. So, that's crazy. Man, these kabooms are super strong still. 15 grand's a big number on those. I mean,
Buffon.
The Modern is just, it's just doing so well. That crystals, is that out of 25 the Mbappe, or is that
yep, 25.
Out of 25, right? So this surprises me a bit. I know people like the green crystals. I think that the out of numbers change a lot, and personally, I'd rather have like the Cyrillic versions because it's more or less the same print run by a large margin. I'd rather have that as opposed to just the the green crystal one. But that's my take. I don't know if you have a take, or you probably don't have an opinion on this stuff.
I mean, I have an opinion, but it's not a strong one. Like I just I don't necessarily get like all the different color, like, I don't understand it, I guess, but like the Cyrillic to me is so like distinct and so like different than anything else that I would way rather have that just for it being out of the ordinary.
Yeah, and like I remember when I pulled one of those cards from I cracked a box that I bought in like Target or something, and I pulled one of those cards, and my first reaction was it was like a Norwegian player, and I'm like, holy shit, the Russian stuff got mixed up.
Yeah.
In my
regular pack.
I'm like, that's crazy. Like, what a bizarre thing. They probably were shipping these off to Russia, and a random one got in my card. That's so funny. And I thought it was a mistake until I found out it was an actual like parallel. And that just made it so cool.
Sure.
For me to pick one. And I know that it doesn't look fancy with the colors because it looks like the same damn card. But that subtlety, I really like that. And it's, now I think most people assume that it's somewhere in the range of a 20 to 25 print run. So I much prefer those cards to something like this. And I think the last Cyrillic, this is a PSA. It was a PSA 9.5 sold for half of this. So you've got a better print run. I think a cooler card, and it sells for half as much. So that's why this one.
And there's not different levels of the parallel. So this is what you can get regardless. And
exactly.
Like, dude, they don't have silver Cyrillic or anything like that. Like, so yeah, you're not getting refractors of it. So
yeah. So I thought that's why this card, it made me, reflect on that particular question, which I know is kind of a niche question anyway. But since there's a lot of Prism,
it gives us something to talk about.
Yeah, it gives something to talk about. Yeah, but I mean, this Gerard here, 10 grand. I mean, super cool cards, right? I mean, but that's probably a record for a Gerard card. I got to imagine, right? Just like it's a record for a James card. Like all of those have got to be records, no?
I wonder if it is for James, just because he burned so bright. But I mean, it's got to be close regardless. And I think that just is more for the set. You know what I mean? That's pushing at least a floor to these. Like I wonder what like a common 101 is, probably sells for a couple grand.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you think?
I just searched the even a James, and that's also Select. The James CR7 1 of 1 blacks from Select 1500. Again, I'm only gonna go off of Card Ladder because
Yeah, it's the
they
easiest.
pull a lot. That's the easiest. The next closest James card was 8,500, and that was a dual Valderrama
Okay.
1 of 1 Samba, also from Prism. Pretty cool looking card. So you had James and El Pibe for 8,500. Yeah, so at least according to Card Ladder, that was a record, and probably I'm gonna guess the Buffon was a record. I'm gonna guess all of these are records for their players, which is pretty astounding if you think about it. Yep, the next closest Buffon was a 1 of 1 for 10 grand, and this one went for 11.5.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty cool though to watch, right? I wasn't a serious player in any of those cards, but interesting. That's kind of bizarre, that card, that 4,500. Oh, it's the art ones that this guy Piggy Banks is doing. Have you seen these
That's an
around?
artist.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're all kind of 1 of 1 type art cards.
Gotcha.
That's a big price on the Heinerle 60 or the Lutter. Okay, those were rarer.
Yeah.
And a 6 is really hard in that card. So 4,300.
Yeah, it's just incredible. BGS 9, Ronaldo for 3 grand.
Like if that was a PSA 9, I'd be like, wow, screaming deal. But
yeah.
just the modern thing again, it's just crazy.
I mean, it's just the volume like just blows my mind, and it's impressive, you know,
like that's an Eto.
Yeah, out of 10.
Gold.
Yeah.
Right. So it's out of 10 and it's 1,800.
Yeah. I mean, that's a bigger name. So like, I'm just trying to think of like, because there was a bunch of those golds that sold at Fanatics, and there are some of them that pulled some pretty decent money.
Yeah. I thought that Maradona, even though it was a sticker, was a relatively good deal. I didn't get that, but in retrospect, it seems like not terrible.
Yeah. I mean, to get an auto of a clean looking design,
yeah,
for that doesn't seem like a bad deal.
The Beckenbauer 1,200 on the Eminence.
This blows my mind constantly.
I know, it's just so.
How are those getting 1,000? I'm so mad because I was buying those things in lots of 50. Like,
how is that still getting anywhere close to $1,000?
Yeah,
I just don't get it. But again, we're not the market for that.
I mean, it is 2006 Messi, so I guess it's an early Messi, and regardless, but it just seems like there's going to be long term. I wouldn't be surprised if there's just somebody sitting in the back, just slowly dropping these things every week or something.
Yeah, because it seems like they're every week, and it seems like they're still pulling in good dollars.
Yeah,
so why not? Especially if you picked them up for 20 cents each back in the day.
I mean, so I bought a thing of Landon Donovan for like 50 of them for like $10 or something.
Yeah.
So exactly what you're saying, price wise.
Yeah. That's because that's what they were.
Yep. All right. That was it for the elite. So we'll go to a few of the weeklies. There's just a couple of items that I kind of wanted to show. And it's just, there's just a handful of items, I think. So I don't know. I don't recall if we went over the golden 100
You know, I don't think we did, so it's not a
Okay.
bad place to stop.
Okay, so maybe we do that then, and real quick, because Golden 100 was like at the beginning of December, and I couldn't recall if we
Yeah.
had
I
gone
think we
over that.
talked about it, but it hadn't maybe quite closed. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, so
So
there's that gold. I mean, the green crystal for 100 grand on the matchups. PSA 10, you know, CR7 for 123. It looked like a soft 10 to me, but it's still a 10, and there's 40 of them. The 9 Messi for 90.
yeah, that seems strong, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's down from probably where it was a few months
Okay.
ago. Like most of them, there's a recalibration. But I mean, what, 2 years ago, you could still be getting this for 20, 25,
Yep.
30.
Yep.
So it's a pretty good run on the post World Cup. The whole autograph set, that looked really fun. So that looked like a fun run to go after for 60. That was good in the Prism case. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's probably one that you just sit on for the next 20 years, and
I think that's the right call on those. Just sit on it.
yeah, just let it sit. Breakers are going to be breaking them, you know, like, I mean, that's the other thing with those unopened stuff, that maybe the breakers help anybody with unopened stuff that wants to hold on to it. You know what I mean? Because like at some point there's going to be high end breakers. I mean, I'm sure there is that I don't know about, that just buys like cases of 86 Fleer basketball, or, you know, like things like that. And you just sit back and watch these things get opened, and you
just want to be the last few.
Yeah,
right?
that's exactly right.
I think there's the payoff is so little on regular ripping, but ripping that stuff, like, I mean, you guys saw me. I opened the box in Mega Cracks and got Butkus. Whoa, right? I mean, you can get lucky, sure, but it is such a gamble, and it's so much more secure just to keep it unopened.
Yep. And it's almost like, not only are you betting on just it being something that's valuable over time, but you're just seeing stuff deplete in inventory. And so you got two different like tailwinds, right? And it's an interesting
going down.
Just got to have the discipline, right? Like, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, you just got to be patient. It's like that. What's Curry's rookie? 2009 or 2010? The top. I forget, but you know, I don't think the 1 of 1 has ever been seen of that card.
Yeah.
So it's sitting in a box somewhere, right?
09, 10 is
09, 10, yeah. So that 1 of 1, which would be like at least a 7-figure card, is sitting in any condition, is sitting unopened, right? So it's just like building the aura of like what that could be, and that's awesome, right? Now, of course, somebody opens it tomorrow and out of a box, then you have the opposite effect. But right now, that's got to be exciting product to have on your shelf.
Yeah, that's a different like dynamic that you have to decide when you know that there's like to be clear, you don't even know that it's
could have pulled it and thrown it away, not even know what it was, right?
Or
so
it's in somebody's safe and they're not even telling people they have it, you know,
So you definitely don't know, but it hasn't been seen, hasn't been graded, right? And there's
that value graded.
There. Right.
Yep. So do you sell it now, like with something that you know there's a uber valuable card, or you think there's a uber valuable card in there? Because once that comes out in public, your stuff just drops probably a good percentage.
A good percentage, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That would be like the different. I would sell it probably sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, but right now it's got to be super exciting to have that product, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, you know, this stuff, these were just, I'd say, super solid prices across the board. I mean, down from some of the high numbers in Mundi Chrome was pulling, and the 35 Messi rookie. But I mean, the year that they had, even if you just looked from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, anybody would be happy with those returns. Sure, they're not what they were in necessarily, August and September, but there's still a great growth on those cards.
Yep. All right, so here are the actual weeklies. That there was just a few things I wanted to scroll. Of course, this is frozen on me now.
Well, it's messy, which was a microcosm for 2025.
Sure was. Yeah, it's Messi, it's Ronaldo to a smaller extent.
Yeah.
Little Haaland. Yeah, it's just a lot of it. I think it was just down. There was like the first kind of pre-war I've seen in a while that, or did I miss it? Yeah, maybe it wasn't this. I wonder why I saved this. Hard to say.
Yeah, but I mean, this was kind of the story, mostly modern, very between Lamine Yamal, which just really kind of the first 9 months of the year was just like every auction, big dollars, tons of different cards, like almost impossible to keep track of all the different issues and cards and rookies that he had.
Yeah.
And then followed by like Messi and Messi numbered cards, followed by Ronaldo. And then to a lesser extent, Holland picked up a bit. Mbappe picked up a bit, especially given his good year at Madrid in the back half of the year. And people probably anticipation of the World Cup. So, and then vintage kind of clocked around. It kind of broadened generally into like some of the tier 2 players got some love. Rare stuff got some love. Maradona made somewhat of a run. Pele didn't really run, probably net negative. Cruyff, stable, kind of net negative. Beckenbauer made a little bit of a run, but like nothing that was anywhere close to what the modern guys did.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely a modern run overall, that's for sure. I do recall why I don't know if I deleted the page. This same one, or it was also an 8, sold for 16,000. Which one am I showing right now?
You're showing the 16,700.
Okay, yeah. And so that one, there's another one that sold early it's actually the exact same, or actually very similar grades, that sold for 12,000 at the beginning of December. So like the subgrades on that Mega Cracks BGS 8, that's why I actually had the page up, which surprised me. Like, so the subgrades were 99875 for the 16,000 and 959,875 for the 12,000. So it's actually a half grade higher for the one that went for 12,000 at the beginning of December. So it kind of seemed like a pretty big percentage difference.
Yeah.
Between the two.
I guess somebody didn't get what they wanted for Christmas.
Yeah, that could be it.
And bid and like, I'm gonna get something I goddamn like,
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, so the end of the month was this one, and the beginning of the month was this one.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I wanted to share for the weeklies, because there's just not a ton of vintage, was there was just this Miata that sold for 600, which is not the most common one. So
yeah, and it's a nice looking card.
Yep. But really not much else to say about that.
All the shiny stuff, man.
Yep. Exactly.
It's tremendous, and that's kind of the year of the shine.
Right. Well, yeah, it's that often. Okay, so this is Fanatics Premier or Premium, or
there were some fun cards in this one.
So from this Maradona on up is what ended in December. So we had a 7 Maradona for 20 grand. Here's a BGS 9 that went for 33,000.
Yeah.
3.5 Alifa for 16.5. Yeah, there's some monsters in this.
Yeah, there were some big
Premier.
cards. Yeah.
Yep. Here's your PSA 9 Mega Cracks for 78, which is lower than the other one, right?
Yeah, the other one is in the 90s.
Yeah. So interesting to see like such a material difference, you know, like being 15-20% sometimes.
Yeah,
just
in a
between, and it
super
can go
short
either
period.
way.
Yeah, it can go either way. I think that on a lot of these, people are, at least to some extent, looking at the card.
Yeah.
Like I think a couple, and I can't remember if this is the one, but over the past year, I definitely remember looking at more than one that, that was in a 9 holder that I was like, well, that would probably be in a 7 holder now.
Yeah. Now. Yeah.
So, that's just something to be aware of. And, I think it's nice to see when people look at the cards and not just the holder, but the holder is always going to hold the value. And that's just the way things are going to trade.
And, the funny thing is, like, I just happened to I fell down a rabbit hole of watching a few videos on like silver coins and gold coins and that sort of thing. And they have the NGS grading for the coins and everything. And
PGS.
They're like, buy the coin, not the slab. Like the coin shop person is saying that. And I'm like, it's so the exact same thing in every hobby that has grading is, they're like, oh, well, this is graded as this. And they're like, yeah, well, things can tone over time. And then all of a sudden you don't see it when it's graded, but then years later it shows up and it's like, yep, same shit that we deal with is what they're dealing with coins. So, but onto the grading thing a little bit. I know we talked about it in the premium, but Beckett getting purchased by PSA or collectors, if you're a person, if you have some BGS 9, some BGS and lower, let's say, of cards that aren't uber scarce, are you motivated to move them into like PSA right now? Or like, I understand where the challenge you come up with a 9.5, because oftentimes like a 9.5 might grade a 9 and you might actually lose value. But like a 9 and below, if it's something of value, do you think it's worth doing right now if you had those? Like I would think the answer is yes, without knowing what their plans are for Beckett.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that if you are pretty confident that any card would grade the same grade from one company to move it over to PSA, at this point, that's just a no-brainer, right? So whether it's Beckett, SGC, or whatever, but if you think for a moment that just because it's in a Beckett 9, it's going to transfer it a 9, you're going to be wrong. At least I can tell you from the SGC side, trying to cross so many SGC cards. PSA thinks that they're better. Their standards have tightened, definitely. I mean, we can say all they want that they haven't, but just look at these cards in newer holders versus older holders. 90% of them, if you were to send them in again, would get a lower grade, maybe the same grade, but only a very small fraction would get a better grade than their previous grade. So I think the bigger question, we've talked about it on the premium before, is what happens to the cards you decide just to keep in those holders. And I can't think that it's materially positive. I think that the only thing could be negative. So then the question is, at some point, do you just bite the bullet and crack them,
right,
and take your risk? And that to me is always a card by card. I have a number of cards that I will probably never cross or never even try to cross, just because, you know what, I like the way that they look, and I'm not trying to squeeze an extra little bit of value out of them. And I don't think that it's just not worth my time, effort, and stress, because it's stressful to do this. So,
Sure.
but I do feel like if I was like trying to maximize my value, if I thought a 9 had a chance, I'd probably first try to send it over in a 9 in the holder and see if they'll cross it. And then if they won't cross it, then I'd reevaluate and say, if they looked at this raw, would they give it a 9?
Yeah.
And then that's a big risk. But if I really truly believe it, then I would probably crack it and send it in. And if I don't, like I was just looking at a couple of my cards that aren't BGS holders, and I'm like, okay, at least in my eyes, this centering doesn't get a 10.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to bother sending in this 9.5, because if my eyes don't do it, they're going to look for reasons to disagree with the upgrade anyway.
Yeah.
So just don't even bother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though it had a 9.5 centering subgrade.
I wonder if it's like with the like what we're talking about, like potentially down the line, if we feel like Beckett has gotten kind of hammered in value because they're no longer a brand for grading, at least. I wonder if then you might actually find values at that point. You know what I mean? That's like when you kind of, once you see the label actually pulling you're actually getting a discount on those kind of those cards.
Yeah, you're getting, I mean, it's all about risk and return, right? You're getting
Totally.
a positive, you're getting a more positive risk return bias. So yeah, do I think there will be a time? I don't know. I mean, not always. He collected a lot of BGS cards, and he loves the brand, and he still has a lot of BGS cards. So he may decide, and it has a great name.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a brand name to it that I feel like they're going to keep it for some, like to some level. I just don't know if it's the grading portion, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And maybe if it's not the grading portion, then I think those slabs get hurt. But they could invest in the brand for some specific segment that they want to focus on. And if they did that, you could create a narrative that the brand makes a bit of a bounce back. I'm not betting on that. And certainly if you look at SGC, there's nothing that Collectors has done that would give you the impression that would happen.
Yeah.
Because economically $25 for Beckett versus $44 for PSA. Well, you want the people to grade the $44 if you're PSA, right?
Yeah.
So there's just a massive economic incentive to marginalize these brands.
Yeah.
But, maybe we're wrong. Maybe the deal doesn't go through. Maybe the FTC gets involved. Maybe there's a lot of stuff we don't know. But I would, if you have really clean looking 9s and 8s, which is back to your last question, I would probably send them in if they're $1,000 plus cards.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's kind of what the magic number, like a little bit higher dollar cards, like trying to get those over quicker. That might be my motivation, but
yeah.
All right, let's keep going on these on this premiere auction, because there's some
What would you do? What would you do with that Messi $200,000?
Well, that's kind of what prompted my question a little bit. I would have to leave it in the 9.5 because I know the value is at 216 or just less than that, right? So like this is an established card that has sold for this much in this slab. I would have a hard time cracking something of that level, but that's probably that's partially my sensitivity to the price, right? it has a surface 9. 2 of them are 10s, and then centering 9.5. So I think the 9 would scare me. Like if you end up getting graded and it gets a 9, like you're probably losing.
So yeah, that's the thing because I think the only way this card it doesn't get a PSA 10. So if you send it in, you'd have to put minimum PSA 9.
Yeah.
It would probably get a 9.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a 9 with the little sticker here? Because they returned this Beckett thing that says, hey, this was a Beckett 9.5. So if you want a Beckett 9.5, you can get it. But it's a PSA 9. Is that something that you do or not? Personally, I don't do that for this card.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, I leave this in the 9.5 for exactly the reasons you said. Card hasn't changed. Great card, sold for $216. If you want it, you're paying more than $216.
Yep. Yeah, it's an interesting time when you start seeing these companies close. Like we would encounter that every now and again back in the day, and you were able to buy those things at a discount relative to PSA or Beckett or whatever if they were in like those other companies. But I think that like having a couple of them kind of put out to pasture within a few years is more than we're used to. So it's just kind of interesting to see like how people react. And the collecting market is way more mature than it was way back when those other companies kind of, ended. So hard to say what the market will do, but I can't imagine that it pushes the value up ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's just page after page after page of modern and autos and numbered cards.
It's impressive. Really.
And I just am wondering, it's so much more money in the soccer market than anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. That is an interesting concern.
That out of 99 Ronaldo Upper Deck card kind of shocked me.
Oh,
I know
really?
It's PSA 10, but I bought the numbered to 7.
Yeah, the gold one.
Yeah, for a little more than double this.
Okay.
And it was a BGS 9 versus a
yeah, the
PSA.
10s pull a pretty big premium in those.
That's what this has to be. It has to be because I know the pop's super low on this.
It says pop 1 of 2.
Yeah, on the PSA 10. So it must just be the grading thing. But I kind of expected this one to be, 10,000 or so. And it went
okay.
Yeah. So, but again, I don't follow this card that closely.
Yeah. I mean, I don't either, but it's one that I do like with my searches, like these pop up from time to time. And so like those are ones that are in front of my eyes more often than some of the other, cards from the 2000s. But Master Vending Pele, that's a gorgeous card. 7,000.
It's got to be one of the top grades. I mean, this is one of my favorite vintage cards, period. It just full frame, the photograph, like you can see the sweat, dripping. It's just, I love this card. And it's proven to be quite difficult to find a copy.
A real copy.
A real copy, yeah, because they did reprint some of these. And PSA is really good at differentiating those. I've never seen a fake one in a slab.
Yep.
So just be careful if you think you found the gem. You probably didn't.
Yeah.
But this card, I don't even know what the pop is. I'm gonna check, but I don't think it's even 20.
Well, good. Well, congrats, Seb. 50 minutes later when you see what we're saying right now. But
yeah, and the last one that sold was a 3 for 4,000. So
okay. Yeah.
And that was 2020. Yeah, the pop's 12.
And what year was that? I'm sorry.
That was 2024, November 2024. So
okay, a
year, and then the one before that was 2023. So one of these comes out a year That was a PSA 1 for 900. The 5 is the top grade. There's 3 5s, and there's 12 in total. So it's a very rare, beautiful card.
Yes, I love it. I do not have it.
I wish that there were more. I mean, that we saw it more often, but I guess that's part of the reason. Oh yeah, that's the one that I got.
Oh, that's you purchased this specific one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
BGS 9.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was more than I wanted to pay, but I think it's
I mean, there's only 7 of them.
yeah, and I think it's overgraded, honestly.
Okay.
But
there's only 7 of them.
And it's just like you said before, this is not a card I'm cracking to send a PSA.
Right.
Unless it got a 9.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You don't cross that over to get a 8.
Nope. And the BGS 9 sold for 78,000. There you go.
That's right. There is a precedent. Yeah, but maybe it's because I'm paying more attention to, but I feel like I'm seeing more BGS for sale, and it's almost like people are like, "Uh-oh, I need to like kind of move some of these slabs." And I mean, I get it, but or maybe it's it's like when you buy a new car and then you start seeing it more often on the road. It could just be that too, where the BGS is kind of in my brain right now, so I'm just noticing it more. Have you picked up on that, or is it just my brain?
But I usually stray from BGS holders as a general rule. Like that's not my preference, and frankly, it's never been my preference. This is not necessarily a new phenomenon. I preferred SGC and then PSA, and then over the last few years, I kind of flipped to prefer PSA and SGC, and then ultimately, BGS is always third for me. The Pele Master menu. So I it's never been a preference for me, but I will tell you that in the last 2 months, I've actually purchased more cards in BGS slabs, maybe because of the phenomena that you're saying, that some things are coming out that are pretty rare.
Yeah.
That I liked the card / value in the BGS slab for the card, even though that wouldn't have been my preference.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, I feel like it can go 2 ways, right? I get wanting to get it out of your hands, but I also get like, this might be your time to be able to get something that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. So I think it can go both ways, just depending on what the item is. I wouldn't be freaking out if I had super rare items, regardless of who graded it. Would I be more worried if I have a BGS 8 CR7 rookie? Probably a little bit more in that regard, relative to like something that's like a out of 7 CR7.
Yeah, or just generally you don't see, just you're going for the rare card.
Yeah.
Which is actually the ones that I've picked up, right? Happen to be in that second card category, harder things that you just don't see often.
Yeah.
That suddenly became available. So
right. Bunch of
CR7 rookies, and these are all like significantly down from where they were.
Yeah.
But they're great looking cards, and I actually don't think that those are bad entry points on any of those cards right there.
Yeah, I mean to get like an 8, I mean there's not a billion 9s and 10s, so like
yeah,
for 10 grand it feels pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I'd rather have like that. I mean, this Messi Kaboom I know is a big deal on this market, but I'd rather have a couple of those Ronaldo rookies
than this. What about this Messi Kaboom 101? 192,000.
Yeah, that makes you want to puke. I mean, the visual on it just is terrible. And then it's 192,000. I'm like, see, it's when I see.
I mean, that's impressive. Like that's really impressive.
But I'm also like, what the fuck? Like, if you would tell me I could buy that card for 10% of that, I'd be like, hell no.
I do wonder what the long-term like value is of his MLS stuff. Like I don't know the answer,
It's
and
too
like
much.
because I don't understand the modern market
I
anymore.
mean, do you really think that the Miami fans are really going to care and carry more than the global? Because anybody that's outside of the U.S. is definitely not giving a shit about this. It'll be
Yeah,
Argentina and Barcelona.
yeah, and I mean, it might be a little different with the MLS team, but like Miami in general is stereotypically terrible sports
Terrible
fans.
sport fan town.
Like if they're winning, they might get a crowd. If they're not, you're not getting a crowd. And when you're no longer the the belle of the ball, like does Miami FC like when Messi retires, they're back to getting 6,000 fans or whatever, So it's just like, I mean, maybe not that few, but like point being is Miami fans traditionally are not the best. So I think it's still Messi collectors, and I totally get that. And I mean, Kaboom, Messi, I get it, but like I just feel like okay, I get it's a 1 of 1, but like I would rather this 2017 Kaboom over the other one.
Way more. It looks
Yeah,
cool. He's in an Argentina jersey. Like it looks like the Kaboom. Like they lost the flash in these. It just the design looks terrible.
yeah,
He looks
yeah,
as fat as you and I on Seb's new Kaboom. I mean, he just looks. He's well rounded. Just like us.
yeah,
And he's wearing pink on green, like and with a red. Like who designed this crap?
yeah. Hard to say. All right, let's get to the weeklies and kind of get through these a little quicker because you and I have. I mean, it's fun. We've been. Sometimes we're through these things in like in 40 minutes, So it's kind of cool that I still have like 7 tabs to go. But
these guys just, most people, our 5 viewers probably turned into 2, and one's probably our mom's.
I mean, we're double digits right now, Al.
Whoa.
If
Waste
if 0-1 is a double digit, it's just Seb.
It's 7 Seb's kids on different computers.
And if you made it this far, like the double digits of you, just give us a like and appreciate that.
And I'll be coming out with my 2025 review video here. I'm done with the slides, and then I'll do a 2026 video in the next couple weeks.
Cool. All right, let's see. I'm gonna scroll. Anything pops, and you're up. Here's a BGS7 sticker, CR7.
A real one. I think that one's pretty real.
Yeah, you can. Centering's usually a giveaway. And
the Ruby.
Clarity.
Didn't we see another Tati Ruby recently?
I thought so.
Yeah, so 1,300. I mean, it's one of the key cards in the set. I mean, not a rookie, but early card for him too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
like that. Maradonna's been doing okay. Not a great slab to get there. That one's off center, but
yeah. I mean, I think that grade's like a 1.5 or 2 for PSA.
And a PSA, yeah, I think that's right. Which is where they basically been. That was the
sticker cut out of the book.
Yeah, removed Van Basten. Don't love that it's in the PSA slab like that, but it's okay, I guess. That's a pretty good price on the Hamrin, right? It was.
Yeah, those were selling for a lot until people realized that there's a Hamrin from like a decade earlier.
Exactly.
Like those were selling pretty good. His early Alifa, the early Alifas, until we realized there's those 43s or whatever. All right, let's go to the next. This is the number 206. BGS 55 Aquarela for 5,500. Solid price, I think. I mean, it looks like a pretty good one.
It's
honestly.
well centered. Yeah, I like the perforations on this one.
Yeah,
it was. It's still a bit higher than I'd expect in that slab because I do think, regardless if you try to cross out to PSA, I'd be shocked even if you got a 4. But
honestly, I have no idea what you get. Like it could be a 7, it could be a 3.
If you crack it, you never know. That's I mean, how do you feel about that PSA 8 Mundo Deportivo? Looks like a pretty good cut.
Good cut, solid price for the amount that we've seen come out,
Yeah,
I guess, you know?
it feels like this one's bouncing back. We had so many so frequently for a while
Yeah.
that they really got beat up. And now let me see where the pop ended up. Because I
It
think
says
this is
the 8 is a pop 1 of 14, and there's 5 graded higher.
yeah, because this had been there actually one sold just in the first week of January for a significant discount to this, less than $5,000, but there's still 158, and it seemed like there was a lot more for a while.
Okay. Yeah, it was just
So
a bunch coming out at the same time.
yeah.
But that's a lot more than there was.
Yeah, of course. It used to be like way more difficult than the Panini vote ball. And
Yep.
now I think they're more or less on the same scale. Let me see.
Well, and here's like a 2.5 PSA Aquarello that goes for 3,100. So like it feels like there's still definitely a discount for the 5.5 Beckett.
Yeah, no, the vote ball. Oh, that's PSA has 260, so there's still 100 more of the vote ball as opposed to the El Mundo Deportivo.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's probably grown a bit too.
Yeah. That was $3,000 for the crack Pele. If you go back up there,
Yeah, the 3.5. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
getting anything over a
1.5 is
Yeah.
a big deal.
yeah. I couldn't even say 2. I'm trying to think of what number to go with because yeah, it's tough. So
Love that card though.
and here's a 2 for $2,000. So and then a 1 for $1,000. That one looks pretty.
Yeah, the Mila there, you don't see that card very frequently. Went for 800.
Yeah.
Pretty big number for him, but pretty cool rare card.
Here's a yellow 1.5 for 600. That seems like a good entry point for one.
Yeah, it's a good looking one too.
Yep. And here's a 1 for 444. That's probably why that 3 went for 900.
Yeah, I mean this had bounced up and then they went back down. That's a big price for the Force of Goal Socrates card, but the Force of Goals have just been doing well.
Yeah.
It almost doesn't matter, especially in a grade like that. They've been doing very well. Well, here's some of the other to 7 cards and 25 cards.
Yeah.
I mean these are to 25, I think, if I was wrong. Yeah.
Just maybe Cristiano Ronaldo was 7. Like that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to 207. Here's the 10 of the regular upper deck for 6,600. A 7 mega cracks for 66. Oh yeah, here's the other one you were talking about, the PSA 8 for 4,500.
Yeah.
But it looks like the borders are substantially smaller on this.
Yeah, I much prefer the other 8, and I see
Yeah.
why I got a premium. Like I said before, it was a really good cut on that one.
Yeah.
I really like that card a lot.
Yeah. So, all right.
There wasn't a tremendous amount of like really kind of high-end vintage that I loved in these auctions.
Yeah. All right, here's the buy it nows.
I like when we do this one.
Fixed price. Yeah. I only did to the from 1979 and earlier. And so at the Eddie Hamel's the first one.
That's a big price. I love that card though, but still it's always done well, that card.
Here's a Fritz Walter for $2,000.
Did you ever see the back on that one?
No, but I can pull it up real quick. It's similar to the one. So here's the
so yeah, it looked removed.
Yeah. All right. This is a fun one because this is people that are willing to pay what somebody's, like it's a different dynamic, right? Rather than an auction where you got to have multiple people. This is just somebody's willing to pay this price. And oh, here's a 51 DD.
Yeah, that's a rare, nice card. Sticker.
Yeah,
$6,000. That there, look at, we just talked about the 1.5 with Sebio for 600, and this 4 goes for 3,000.
yeah.
Nice. There's a PSA 6 Mila went for 500. The 7 went for, we just saw 800. Here, how did the Maradona right there? Because that was an 8, wasn't it?
Yep, 1,400.
Yeah.
And then here's another 8, 1,400. Maybe somebody had 2 days difference. So I don't know what happened there.
I wonder if it's the same.
Could be the same seller that had 2 8s.
Yeah. Because the 9 did really well on one of those auctions. Oh, there's
PSA
a
5.
nice looking 5, at least from here.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of real high grade Queagles go in a while.
No, that's very true.
And there are a number of those out there.
Yep. So here's the same situation where there's 2 of them, like December 22nd, December 23rd, $12,000 for the same card. So I don't know what's going on with that, like those doubles. Like maybe it's just one sale or
yeah, seems like a pretty high price for this card in this
market. And then there'd be 2 people buying or somebody buying multiple copies, or like it just something's funky. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Here's a PSA 5 Aquarela for 7,000. So what, $1,500 more than the 5.5 Beckett.
Yeah, I would do that. I would pay the $1,500 more.
Same thing here. Yeah, there's something wonky with their site, I think.
Yeah.
PSA 1 for 400 crack. That's actually a pretty good looking one. I mean, I don't know what the back looks like, but
I would agree, at least the front wise. That looks pretty good.
This is a pretty bad looking 4 for my eyes, because it looks, see the toning here relative to over here.
Yeah, like I'm surprised I got a 4, but there's so much inconsistency in the grading of that card.
Yeah. Kata Grayling for 425. Wills Fatty Folk for 50.
Oh, that's a nice Puseye for 1,700.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of doubles. They're just double counting it for some reason.
Yeah, so maybe they're not. Maybe the system had a glitch and they kept reprinting. A lot of the U.S. players in the 50 set going.
Now, I don't know if everybody got it, but like I got an email with like $100 credit if you bought off of the fixed price.
Oh, no, I didn't get that.
So I saw somebody else mentioned it in the Discord. So that might have prompted a few more sales this month than others. I think mine expired like January 2nd or 3rd or something like that. But okay, and then let's see. We'll go to eBay real quick. There's just a few things from this month. The Nanina Mazzola for 500 for a 5. A 7 Vanderhoot for 640. A 3 TTT Beckenbauer for 374.
Man, seems like a great one to buy. I mean, yeah, I don't know how the back is.
It definitely looks miscut.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe that's part of it, but still, like,
yeah. As long as it has a clean back, I love that card.
Well, let's see. It looks clean. Clean, yeah. All right, now we're gonna go to Heritage. Let's see. There was a couple of pages of just soccer, but PSA 10 from the 2006 World Cup for 4,400. A PSA 7 Panini Este for 1,400, which feels like a pretty good price for that, like a deal.
It feels like a deal to me.
Yeah, yeah,
and I'd be all over that.
Yeah, that seems low. That ended right before Christmas.
That's also a thing. It's so risky to run things right around the holidays. People are out doing so much.
Yeah. PSA 5 Zidane for 1,900. And then we get back into those Pele auctions.
Yeah.
So we'll get through those.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. And then the last thing is sale room. There's just a few things that here's a Sari Baston that sold for about $500.
Yeah, that's nice. It's a nice card.
Yeah. Crawshaw, Singleton, and Cole for a couple $100. That seems like a good buy.
This one seemed low too. This
the Bloomer Ogdens for like $500 ish.
Yeah, I think that's low for that card.
I agree.
And
here's a Guinea Gold Geo Smith. So early Geo Smith. Some people think it's as early as Circus Girls. Other people don't. But it's definitely one of the 3 earliest cards of him. Likely 1800s or 1896 to 1899 range. But so that's over $3,000.
And that's a really, really good card. I mean, that's
same photo as the Circus Girl, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just a special card in my mind.
Yeah. And yeah, there wasn't really much else. That was it for that kind of caught my eye to talk about. Well, cool. Another year in the books, man. We've been doing this for
a while. A minute, as my daughter would say. Yeah.
Yeah, we've definitely been doing it for a minute. Uh-oh. Sitting here crying in my car after realizing I didn't win the gold kaboom. Yeah. Maybe we'll do another one for another year. And Lionel says, haven't seen Ronaldo Nazario Panini 10 sell for years. Yeah, that's true. I remember my buddy bought one for $300 back when we started getting into soccer, $200 or $300. And I am curious as to like what that is worth now.
What if you had a guess? What would you say?
I have no idea. I don't know the market for those because I don't really pay attention to them. Can you look up what Card Ladder says the value would be?
I need to find a sale first, but let me tell you what their guesstimate would be if I can find something.
Yeah.
Okay. They have. Oh no, this is a PSA 8.
Speaking of Ronaldo Al, would you do a refresh of early year cards?
Yeah, I need to do that, and I need to do Pele too. So yes, I have it planned. It's just it's rough with my time. The shoot, it doesn't just an 8. The last 8 sold for 3,000. The Card Ladder value says an 8 is 2,000, which I don't believe. I would guess a 10 right now would probably be in the 12 to 15 range.
Yeah, that sounds probably, because if you just double the grades, right, that's 612. If we say it's 3,000, and probably the 10 actually pulls a little bit more of a premium. So even if we say it's worth 2,500, that's 10,000. And then if you get a little bit of a premium, $12,000. as like a floor. Like, I think that makes sense.
And there's 7 10s. And from what
Okay.
I recall, at least 2 of them were in kind of known trimmers' hands,
Oh, okay.
which also, you know, that's one thing. If I saw a 10, I'd be super careful. Not that, you know, the guarantee is always helpful, but there are a couple, kind of like the Ronaldinho, that had passed through some known trimmer hands.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of just unfortunate, right? That were in PSA slabs. So I'm not saying that they're trimmed, but it just, I would have an extra level of,
Yeah, pay attention if you're gonna buy one, just to like compare it to other copies and that sort of thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have seen a number of trimmed stickers through time. So just be careful out there. The last 9 sold for in August, sold for 6,000.
Okay, so that's right in line.
Yeah.
So 12 to 15 makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And maybe more of a premium just because of people putting.
I wouldn't be shocked if it hit 20.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
But if you're going to be reasonably conservative,
yeah, I would feel good about getting it for 12. Let's put it that way.
sure. Well, cool. Well, appreciate everybody joining us. Happy New Year to you all. You know, we'll be doing this hopefully for another month.
number of years.
And yeah, so you know, like I said, a thumbs up would really help us just get more eyes on the channel if people are searching soccer cards and that sort of thing. So if you guys would do that, that's greatly appreciated. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody. Happy New Year.